Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is super fun, which is a bookstore vlog. I recently have acquired a Barnes & Noble gift card, and let's just say Barnes & Noble is also having a sale on romance books, so I feel like it is divine timing. Like, the universe just wants me to go book shopping, so that is exactly what we will be doing today. So let's get into it. So it is time for a book haul. So it is actually the next day, and I wanted to show you guys all the goodies I got from Barnes & Noble. The reason behind my trip was that I had a gift card, and also the fact that Barnes & Noble was having a buy one get one 50% off sale on all romance paperbacks. And I have been on such a romance kick recently that this just felt like divine timing. Like I mentioned earlier, it just seemed like a dream come true. How could I not pass up this opportunity to go book shopping, let alone go book shopping for free because I have a gift card, aka girl math. And I'm very happy to report that I didn't go too crazy. Everything I am about to show you guys was covered by my gift card, and I love it when that works out. Like, chef's kiss, honestly. So let's get into it. So we are starting off this book haul with Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. Miss Ali Hazelwood has been writing like she is running out of time. Not to quote Hamilton, but she's giving Alexander Hamilton, because not even like a month or two before this one released, she released Deep End, which I haven't even gotten to. It is sitting on my shelf. It has been sitting there for about a good month or two, and I honestly don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I will get to it because Ali Hazelwood is an auto-buy author. I honestly don't think I've read a book by her that I hadn't liked, so it's safe to say that I'm probably going to love this as well. So Problematic Summer Romance is a companion novel to Not in Love, I believe. The main female character in this book, Maya, is the younger sister of the main male character from Not in Love, and that was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved Eli and Rue. I'm pretty sure his name is Eli. Do not quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. I'm horrible with names. I keep a Notion page of like all the books I read throughout the year, and the first line is always the characters' names, because if it is not like a 10-book series, I forget people's names. Sorry, not sorry. But basically, this book is about Maya and Connor. It is an age gap romance, and dare I say, it is also brother's best friend. Like, I'm pretty sure Connor is friends with Eli. They run a company together, things like that. And it also takes place at Eli and Rue's wedding in like Italy, which I love. Like, that is such a fun setting. This book is also not really centered around STEM. Ali Hazelwood writes a fantastic STEM romance. Like, that is her bread and butter. But I've heard through the grapevine that this kind of strays away from that formula, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I don't know, I'm very excited about this book. Moving on, the next book I got was Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. She also wrote Ready or Not, which I've heard really great things about. However, that book does include an accidental pregnancy trope, and I'm just not the biggest fan of those. So I figured, why not skip ahead to her newest release, and if I really enjoy this book, then I can go back and read Ready or Not with an open mind. But I honestly don't know much about this book. I just know that everyone's been raving about it. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit heavier than your stereotypical romance. Like, I'm pretty sure the main female character is grieving her best friend, and her best friend like left her this this list of like things to do when she passed away so her best friend can continue living, and I think the main male character is like helping her through that. You know what? Instead of me like rambling on what I think this book is about, let's just read the back. Okay. Grieving the loss of her best friend, got that part right. A young woman finds her life turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again. Okay, I love that. Okay, so basically, the main female character, Lenny, is babysitting for this family, and the family has an uncle that is always around, and he's kind of grumpy, and he knows a lot about grief, and he's been in Lenny's shoes before, and basically just offers to help her get back on her feet and kind of enjoy life again post losing her best friend. Okay, this book sounds like really good. It does sound emotionally damaging, so I don't know when I'm gonna be picking up this book, but I know I'm gonna be picking it up sometime. I don't know, when I'm in the mood for it, because I am a notorious mood reader. Cara Bastone is a new author for me, so I'm excited to see if I enjoy her writing style, if I enjoy this book like everyone else, but yeah. So the third book I got was Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I am super excited about this book, one, because I just love her so much. Like, she is an auto-buy author for me. I read The 7-Year Slip by her last year, and it was by far my favorite read of 2024, and ever since then I've just been obsessed with her writing, and just the fact that she incorporates this like aspect of magical realism into all of her books, like it just feels so whimsical, and who doesn't love some whimsy in their life, you know what I mean? But the other reason why I'm super excited is because it is my first book pick for my romance book club. I recently announced that I am partnering with a local bookstore here in Massachusetts in hosting a monthly romance book club, and this is our first book that we will be reading. Honestly, I didn't pick the monthly book until literally after I got this book, or else I would have waited and bought it at that bookstore. The owner ended up emailing me and was like, hey, do you have a book picked out? And I was like, no. And I just looked at my bookshelf and I was like, you know what? I love The 7-Year Slip. I love Ashley Poston. Let's read her newest release. You know what? And I actually got the pleasure of meeting her. She came to the bookstore where I'm hosting the club at, and she was signing a bunch of books, and I got to talk to her and take a picture with her, and she was just the sweetest person alive. And yeah, she recently posted that she's also writing another book, and she like posted a picture of a lake. So I'm like, okay, are we about to get like a summer lake romance? Like, what's going on here, Miss Ashley? But I was too scared to ask her about all of that when I met her in person, so it will remain a mystery until she announces a new book. I'm gonna be totally honest, I honestly don't know what this book is about. I know it's music related, I know it will have an aspect of magical realism, but yeah. And I know that sounds so horrible for me to say, because I literally picked this book to read with a bunch of people for my book club, and I don't even know what it's about, but like, I know Miss Ashley and I know it's gonna hit. So let's read the back of the book so we can figure out what this book is about, and if you guys are interested, you can go pick up a copy. It says, she can't get him out of her head. Joni Lark has a secret. She's one of the most coveted songwriters in Los Angeles, and yet she can't write. There's an emptiness inside her and nothing seems to fill it. When she returns to her hometown in North Carolina, she hopes that the sand, the surf, and the concerts at the Revelry, her family's music venue, will spark inspiration. But when Joni gets there, nothing is how she left it. Her best friend is hiding something, her mother's memories are fading fast, and the Revelry is closing. How can Joni write when her world is leaving her behind? Then she hears it, a melody in her head, lyricless and half-formed, and an alluring and addictive voice to go with it, belonging apparently to a wry musician with an emptiness of his own. Surely he's a figment of Joni's overworked imagination. Then a very real man shows up in Vienna Shores. He's arrogant and guarded and not at all like the sweet, funny voice in Joni's head, and he has a plan for breaking their inconvenient telepathic connection. Finish the song haunting them both and hope they don't risk their hearts or their secrets in the process. Because that melody, the one drawing them together, what if it's there for a reason? Oh my gosh. Okay. So it sounds like it's a little bit of enemies to lovers, forced proximity. They're both musicians. I recently read Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto, and they're also musicians, and I really ate that up. I loved it. I think there's just something about the two main characters having the same passion and being just so enthralled by the same thing, whether it's like reading, music, what have you, that just like really makes their connection seem deeper and more intense. So I'm super excited to read this. Again, if you're in the area and you want to join in on the fun, come to my book club. I'm honestly really scared that no one is going to show up. So if you're in the area, please show up. Please do me a favor and show up to book club so I'm not sitting at the bookstore alone talking to myself, because I will talk to myself for an hour about this book. That's basically what I do already on BookTube. So the fourth and final book I got was Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. If you watched my most recent reading vlog where I read summer romances for a week, I read Same Time Next Summer in that video, and that was my first time reading anything by Miss Annabelle Monaghan, and I'm so glad I decided to pick up that book. I'm not gonna lie, that book has been sitting on my shelf for like a year or so, and all of a sudden I just got the sudden urge to read it again. The mood reader in me came out to play. I was like, you know what? I've never really wanted to read this book until now. And I also feel like I need to thank the book girlies out there, specifically my holy trinity of booktubers, Destiny, Sarah, and Haley. I feel like they've really been singing Miss Annabelle's praises recently, and so that was a big influencing factor on why I wanted to pick up that book. But now I'm obsessed. Like, I love her. Her writing style is just so easy to read, and it's fast paced, and she like has like such beautiful but simple quotes in her book that don't seem really profound, but like when you think about it and you're in the book and you're in the story, you're like, man, this hits. Like, why am I on the verge of tears? You know what I mean? So I decided to pick up Summer Romance because I've just been hearing such great things about this book in particular by her. I know it's Sarah's favorite by her, and who doesn't love a good summer romance? You know what I mean? The back of the book says, Allie Morris is a professional organizer whose own life is a mess. Her mom died 2 years ago, then her husband left, and she hasn't worn pants with a zipper in longer than she cares to remember. No one is more surprised than Allie when the first time she takes off her wedding ring and puts on pants with hardware, she meets someone, or rather her dog claims a man for her by peeing on him. Ethan smiles at Allie like her pants are just right, like he likes what he sees. He looks at her like she's a younger, braver version of herself. The last thing newly single mom Allie needs is to make her life messier, but there's no harm in a little summer romance, is there? Okay. So it just seems like kind of like a fun summer fling. It's single parent, and yeah, honestly, I don't really know what else to talk about with this book. On the back, it says a bingeable 5-star read by Abby Jimenez, and you know what? I'm gonna take that to heart, Miss Abby. I better love this book, and I probably will. So those are all 4 of the books I got. Yeah, I honestly think I'm going to pick up Sounds Like Love because I need to read it for my book club. If I don't, then I'm just gonna be a bad book club leader. Like, I'm gonna get thrown out of my own club. So I think we're going to enter kind of a reading vlog segment on this video, and we're gonna pick up Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. So yeah. So it is the next day. It is also time for an update on Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I honestly don't have any real or concrete opinions about this book yet, and I'm about 40% through. So I'm almost to that halfway mark, but the main two characters are finally together. They're trying to figure out how to break this telepathic connection. So I feel like I'm finally just like entering the meat of the story. It kind of feels like everything up until this point has just kind of been like background information or just like build up to like get to this point. So I'm excited to see where I'm headed with this story. I think the premise is like super unique. Obviously, I love Ashley Poston's writing style. It's one of the main reasons why she has quickly become one of my favorite authors. Her writing is just so fast-paced. It's so easy to read, but it's also so beautifully written. Like, The 7-Year Slip is one of my favorite reads ever. It was my favorite read of 2024, so I feel like that speaks volumes. I also feel like I'm constantly repeating myself about that anecdote because I probably have already mentioned it in this video, and I apologize, but like that book just like stuck with me. I will say we did get a little cameo from Ivan and Clementine, and it was very cute. I love them so much, and it's just so fun seeing characters that you love in other books. I don't know, it's just nice to catch up on them. So yeah, let's get back into reading. I just had to share what just happened in the book, and this isn't really a spoiler, it's just something funny. Basically, the main male character, Sebastian, is a celebrity. He used to be in a boy band, and then his dad is like super famous, and he got stomped by a crowd outside of like the coffee shop, and he just like could not leave because they kept bombarding him. And so when Joni, the main female character, noticed this, she kind of just like played a bit. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, is he signing stuff again? Like, I know he looks like that boy band guy, but he's not really him. He's not as tall as him, blah blah blah. And to get like people away from him, and everyone's just like, yeah, you're right, he's not as tall, he's not as handsome as him, like, I knew something was off. I think that's hilarious. Like, actually hilarious. Imagine going up to somebody and it's actually them but then you're gaslit into thinking that it's not them. I would go home and cry once I found out the truth. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The main male character, Sebastian, is so down bad for Joni, and I love it. There's just something about a mysterious, kind of like grumpy, standoffish main male character that always hits for me. And then you add on the fact that he's famous and also a musician, like, okay, pop off. The main thing that is like really aggravating me right now is the fact that they obviously both like each other. They are attracted to one another. They share this very intimate bond to the point where they know each other so much better than like their friends and family. Like, when are you guys gonna get together? Like, there is like no romance thus far. And I'm like, 200 pages in. We need to speed this up. Okay, I'm getting antsy. So it is a while later and I finished reading Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Let me preface this book review by saying that Miss Ashley Poston never misses. I really enjoyed this book. I don't think it topped the 7-Year Slip for me. I don't think that book will ever be topped. It's just like truly one of my favorite books ever, but I still really enjoyed this book. I think I honestly liked it more than a novel love story, which is crazy to say because that book literally made me break down crying, but I really just loved the pacing of this book. I loved the characters and the overall message. I feel like Ashley Poston does a great job of incorporating aspects of self-discovery tied in with like grief as well. I think this was really prevalent in the 7-Year Slip, with Clementine having this like existential crisis after her aunt died and doesn't really know who she is without that person in her life. And then you have Joni in Sounds Like Love, where she's experiencing kind of this like writer's block and she doesn't really know if LA is the best fit for her, and then that's tied into her mom being diagnosed with dementia. I will say, after reading Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy this book because it's centered around her mom being diagnosed with dementia, even though it's not really centered around her mom's diagnosis of dementia, but it does play a really big factor in why Joni came back home to Vienna Shores. But I will say, I think the topic was handled a little bit better, or maybe not better, but it was just like not as heavy and depressing, might I say. I think the overall consensus around this topic for me in this book is that Ashley Poston does it in a way that adds depth to the story but doesn't take away from the two main characters, Sebastian and Joni, and their relationship and their love story. I will say, going to this book, make sure you have an open mind. Ashley Poston, when she does incorporate these aspects of magical realism, she doesn't really explain them. They kind of just happen. There is like no world building like a fantasy. So just like make sure you go in with an open mind and know that there are going to be some questions left unanswered. I would have loved to know more about Sebastian and his mom and, you know, Joni's mom's whole thing with like Roman Fell. Like, there's just some things that I really wish that we would have dived more into, but that's just kind of me loving the story and wanting more rather than the story feeling incomplete. I think overall this book is a 4.5 for me. I think this is definitely my second favorite Ashley Poston book, the first one being The 7-Year Slip, obviously, then Sounds Like Love, and then A Novel Love Story. Even though I really love Ashley Poston, I actually haven't ever read The Dead Romantics, which was her debut novel. I feel like that's more of a fall read, so I've kind of just been like biding my time to pick that book up. But now that I've read her newest release and we don't know when her next book is coming out, maybe I'll be picking that up this coming fall. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you read any of the books in my book haul, what you thought about them, if they're on your TBR, and if you've read Sounds Like Love, if you had similar thoughts and feelings to me. If you didn't, I would love to know. I would love to just chat it up in the comments below. And yeah, make sure to subscribe for more videos. I have been posting basically every week, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.